Once upon a time, there was a castle that sat atop green rolling hills and looked out at little shops and wooden cottages. And over time, of course, it all but disappeared, and the castle found itself woven into a network of office parks and corporate towers. Up and up the castle went, a dizzying array of bridges and walkways connecting businesses to penthouse suites. It was a success with the greatest riches, and enough agencies and bureaus to pull all of the invisible levers needed for a royal life of leisure and pleasure. Of course, no castle would be complete without a way to keep others out. So surrounding this great monstrosity of architect and wonder, the wonder being how on earth it all stayed together at all, was a great wall. And despite all the change that progress brought, one thing remained the same. The kingdom still had his king, the majesty, and his wife, the queen. And they had one child, their daughter, Princess Medine Annette Gabral. One mustn't fool themselves. She was as much a prisoner of circumstance as anyone outside. When she was 24 and her 25th birthday fast approaching, the kingdom was quite abuzz about that sacred day. I want billboards, not posters. This isn't just a birthday, folks. This is an experience. I want articles in every magazine. I want a picture on every cover. Another year and still no marriage. We need this birthday to draw attention away from what she's not doing and show what she is doing. And what is she doing, sir? Doing what princesses do. Getting ready, of course, which is what all of you should be doing. Gillian Virai orchestrated all of the court's events and managed its most fragile royal image. A thankless job that, thank God, he took to heart. So the guards are going to open the doors. As I said, the guards are going to open the doors. The cake's going to come through, fully lit. As it gets close to the princess, who's walking around the spiraling staircase, lit by the candles. She reaches the top, and she gives her speech. You know, the cake, everybody's a piece, isn't it sweet? Blah, blah, blah. Cue. You guys, you pedal the fans. She blows the kiss to the crowd. The fans give the appearance that the candles go out because of her, and darkness. What? For you, sir, from the princess. A circus. The princess wants a circus. Of course she wants a circus. I'm trying to personify the image of a woman, and she asked her father for a circus. We don't have any circus performers, I know. Wouldn't be much. Shall we dress up some of the maids, have them do tricks, Wouldn't be much of a grand finale now, would it? No. The only place we're going to find people willing to hang on ropes, upside down for pennies, would be out there. Beyond the wall, sir. I'm afraid so, old man. And why on earth would we let any of those things in here? Would you like to be the one to tell the princess that she can't have her circus? I'll find them myself. Jugglers and acrobats, tightrope walkers, will give the princess whatever she wants. She wants a circus, and a circus she shall have. Galen Vorai was a tall man that appeared even taller. He wore a black top hat, tailored suits, and shiny boots that clicked and echoed when he walked. Oh, and he had piercing eyes and a sense of purpose and direction that you'd have to duck to miss. This is supposed to be a grand finale. There's nothing grand about this. I said I want you all to drop at the same time. The same time. Like streamers, not like rags. What is it now, Jake? It's Jack. It's not our skills that's getting in the way. We're hungry. 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 I didn't pay you to eat. I paid you to perform. I understand, but from up here, you smell every treat your cooks make. And from down there, all we're fed is bread and water. I thought in our agreement we would. You earn the right for something more. You know, to taste what we can't have is kind of cruel than not to know. If you never know, what will fuel your ambition? A perfect finale, and you shall receive your perfect feast. Ready, set, and drop. And drop. What is... Hello, Your Majesty. We were just finishing up your circus. This is going to be the grandest of grand finales that ever was. Yes, you want to be in the circus now? I don't think that's the best idea. Yeah, I know you're talented. No, yes, I know you're taking lots of dancing classes. No, I know. I just don't think. What does your father have to say about this? Okay. Well, why didn't you say you're getting married? Okay. So you're accepting the marriage. This is perfect. This is exactly what the kingdom needs. Finally. You know, I see it now, headlines. Princess Madine's 25th birthday. A farewell to youth. Of course. If a circus is what you want, Madine, it is at your service, whatever you like. Sure. Yes. Of course. My cast of nimble players, to the dining hall. You've been sequestered by Her Majesty. And keep an eye on them. And don't leave her alone with anyone outside rehearsal. You gotta report anything at all that you hear. The second the finale's over, I want those rats out. Do you understand? Out. Put them on the last train and get them as far away from here as possible. Got it? The party went off without a hitch. First the epic cake, then the grand speech, and those impossible acrobats and death-defying feats. My favorite part, of course, is when Jack the Last stood and jumped from the highest peak with one elastic band bound tightly around his ankles, a tiara in his hands. And as he fell, the elastic pulled, and he slowly slowed, and just before the snap to send him back, he placed the tiara gently on Her Majesty's crown. You should have seen the crowd. They stood and cheered, but it didn't stop here. Other acrobats passed far overhead like shooting stars and passed through puffs of smoke that hung like little clouds. The princess, still atop her perch, placed a moon-shaped mask upon her face and blew that famous kiss. And then one more step, her arms outstretched, she dove out across the crowd. And when the smoke had cleared, It appeared as if every performer and the princess had just magically just disappeared. Needless to say, the audience loved it. I'm sorry, did I say the party went off without a hitch? Well, there was just one thing. I'm afraid something that everyone noticed. What do you mean she's gone? We can't find her, sir. She didn't just disappear. We believe she left it. Yes. We didn't realize it was her, sir. She was wearing a mask. Well, find them. We sent them to the outline, sir, as you requested. What should I tell the royal court correspondent, sir? Tell them. Tell them. Tell them she was kidnapped. Kidnapped, sir? Yes, kidnapped. Princesses don't just run away. Guards, send out the spotters. The story winds and weaves its way, as stories often do, and for tonight I bring you to another scene that's somewhere towards the end. The princess has approached a cage. She's come to confront their once trusted advisor, Galen Verrock, whom has found himself in the most unfortunate position of being arrested. Hello, Your Majesty. Sure your father sent you here, huh? Find out how a man like me, someone of my ill-bred descent, could have stood shoulder to shoulder with him and only inches from his neck? Oh. You want to know how I could have treated your friends with such indignity, as you say. After I too had been born into such misfortune, conditions. Even you, my dear, should know there's no greater master than your father. Oh, you say I served myself? Did I? I released the machinery of your father's power, as was my role. A role I took to her. But I did far more to change its course than you would ever care to know. Lie? What lie? The lie that said I would amount to nothing? The lie that said I was worthless from birth? I wasn't born in some nursery, princess. I didn't learn my lessons from patient tutors or picture books. I got my lessons from standing next to cracked open windows and hiding on rotting docks. The life I put together was built on the scraps and pieces your people threw out. You couldn't possibly understand. Just leave me alone. If you'd followed tradition, you wouldn't be here. Yes, that's true. If I'd followed tradition, we wouldn't be here either, would we? What do you want? Why do you want to help me? Yes, we're all misunderstood, Medine. What's that? Where did you find that? I haven't seen that hat in years. You want to know the truth? This is what got me in here. You played me like quite a fool, Medine. I guess I was my own downfall. Never expected that anyone would have as an elaborate plan to leave the castle as I did to get into it.